everyone, welcome to Satosha's classes, and in this video I'll be sharing the important suggestions for IBO 06 for this December exams. And let's start with the first unit, International Monetary System and Institutions. Now in this unit you should study about this, like what is the mechanism of this international monetary system. And here you can explain in your answer, like there are few methods, like mechanisms. The older one first, like this classical gold standard method, which was prevalent in 1816 to 1914. A few drawbacks were there, due to which it was again replaced by Bretton Woods system, and again Bretton Woods system changed to current international monetary system, which is basically based on floating rates. Now from this unit again, like you can go through this one, that international financial system, what is international financial system and its main objectives. This one is also going to be very important question. Few components are there of this financial system, like these financial institutions, financial markets, money market, capital market. So all these you can mention in your answer. Okay, and there are, like I've written 8 components, so you can go through that. Again, one more topic, that is RDB, regional development banks. Now this is also common in IBO 02 and 1. एंड यहाँ पर ये जो 3 टाइप के जो आरडीबी हैं, इनको आप डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं इन योर आंसर, दैट इंटर अमेरिकन डेवलपमेंट बैंक, एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक एंड अफ्रीकन डेवलपमेंट बैंक. एंड apart from this, you can also highlight the role of RDB, like why these regional development banks are important and what functions they perform in an organization. You can also write about, prepare on WTO, World Trade Organizations, which was basically created in 1995 to promote international trade, its main objectives, functions. So all these things you can prepare for these exams, all these functions you need to explain. Then you have IMF, that is International Monetary Fund. You can get it in the short notes and even like in the long questions of 10 marks. And again, its main functions and objectives. So these things you need to revise. Okay. Then in Unit 2, let's see a few important topics of Unit 2 here, like what is financial market and its main objectives. Then what are international bonds, the different types of bonds which are issued, like this. Different types of bonds are there, like domestic bonds, euro bonds. Then we have a few other bonds like foreign bonds. So these you need to describe in your answer. Then this question is also very important. Instruments traded in international financial market. So what type of instruments are traded? That means bought and sold in the financial market. Like this, foreign exchange are bought and sold. Then derivative products are there. Then international currency market, international currency, euro currency is bought and sold. And some money market instruments are there, like treasury bills, commercial paper, euro commercial paper, certificate of deposit, bankers acceptance, and like that. Okay, let's move on to Unit 3. Now in Unit 3 we have international banking, and here, like what is international banking transfer mechanism, how the money transferred. So these methods of transfer, this question comes quite a lot of times. And you should also revise about, like what is the meaning of money market and its significance, and the main constituents of money market. Now this question is very important, like all these constituents: treasury bills, then call money, repo rate and reverse repo rate, then commercial paper and certificate of deposits. You need to explain all these instruments in detail. Okay. The next question is loan syndication. You can get it in short notes also. Loan syndication, let me explain you a bit. Like it occurs when 2 or more lenders come together to fund one single loan borrower. ये basically होता है where the loan requirement is quite high, and one bank unable to arrange so much of money to give loans. So in that case, a lot of banks group together, they join hands and give loans. Then how it happens, like the process of loan syndication. So that's also very important one. Then comes the next question, next important one. This is also very important. PLR, that is prime lending rate, and why like different approaches or models of loan pricing. This is also a very common question for the exams. Basically, you might have seen the commercial banks charging different interest rates to different customers. Now that depends on the credit worthiness of the customers. So that is called PLR. And we have these four models here, four different approaches, like fixed rate model, then variable rate model, then prime rate model, then rate of general customers. So these four rate models are used for different customers by the banks. Okay. One more question that you have, very important one, that is the concept of yield curve. Now, yield curve is basically a graphical presentation of the different types of interest rates on the debt. It is something like, portfolio. So whenever a company takes loans, different rates are charged by the commercial bank. So when you represent that on a curve, I mean graph, so that becomes the yield curve. Different factors that affect the yield curve, then why this yield curve is important, what is its role, why companies prepare yield curve. So this question is also going to be very important one. Okay. uh, from unit 4 we have balance of payment. Now this topic is quite common in almost all the subjects of MCOM. So I have told you many times regarding this also, like BOP, what is BOP, then current account and capital account, then BOP, BOT differences, then steps taken by the government to correct unfavorable balance of payment. So all these questions are important in balance of trade. One more question that is a bit different, like how devaluation is the most effective way to correct balance of payment. This question is also very important, so do revise this properly. Okay. The next unit is unit 6, determination and forecasting of exchange rates. As we know, the different currencies have different exchange rates. So what is the mechanism, how it works, what is the ERM, and how this exchange rate mechanism works? This question is also a very common question, lot of times come in the exams. Do revise this properly. That different types of exchange rate mechanisms are there, like this fixed exchange rate, then adjustable peg rate. So you need to revise all this properly. Then this exchange rate forecasting, what is that? Basically it is an estimation of the exchange rate in the future. And why do central banks intervene in the foreign exchange market? This is also a very important question. When you analyze the previous year's question paper, you will find this question quite a lot of times. It has appeared in the exams. So this question you need to revise properly for the exams. Okay. Unit 7 is on currency risk management. And now in this unit, you should study about the different types of risk which an exporter faces while dealing in foreign currency. Basically, these three types of risk arises, like transaction risk, economic risk, and translation risk. So all these things, these three different risk, you might get in the short notes also, one of them. So get ready for this, like very important one. And let's see few more important topics. uh, then this one, derivatives. What are derivatives? The difference between future and options. What are derivatives? Let me explain you. These are financial contracts between two or more parties that derive their values for the underlying asset. So basically this is also a part of foreign exchange forecasting. And this difference between future and options, this one is also very important one. So you should revise this. And then we have what are international swaps. Again, like you can get it in the short note or even in the long questions. And swaps, the full form of this, that ISDA, like the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, and this is a professional institution created by a group of banks, and that helps to decide the foreign exchange currency, foreign exchange rates. So this you need to go through. Then from unit 10, we have some corporate strategy and foreign direct investment, and like the government, like the policy of Indian government towards FDI, that needs to be studied by you. That's important one. And the different regulations of FDI, like how it moves into India or out of India even, and features of FDI, and what steps are taken by the government to promote FDI. Okay. Now this question, FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, one of the very important, and even like it is very common to lot of MCOM papers. So this question you should revise properly, and basically here also it was created in 1999. Basically, this act FERA was replaced by FEMA, and the main object is to promote international trade and ease the exchange rate. ओके तो एक्सपोर्टर के लिए बहुत बढ़िया फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड करते हैं इसके अंदर. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज रोल ऑफ फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉलिसी ऑफ इंडिया, like why it is important, this foreign policy. So a lot of points are there you can mention like this. It creates employment opportunities, then helps in the economic growth and development of India, and it also increases or develop the human resource. Latest technology can be available, more exports, more competitive market, and growth of domestic industries. So all these points you can mention. All these are the explanation. One more question you can do from here, that is the difference between foreign direct investment FDI and portfolio investment FPI. So ये question भी बहुत बार आता है एग्जाम्स में. Foreign direct investment में directly like you are investing in a foreign company or in a foreign country, where for portfolio is the different types of investments that you have made onto the different companies. Okay. Then unit 11 is on international project appraisal, and you should know like what is this project appraisal. Basically it is a cost and benefit analysis of the project, where the company tries to find out what are the cost that is going to incur and what returns it is going to get. So that is what you have to explain in the meaning. And the different steps or processes of project appraisal, all these points you should explain, like identifying the factors which will make the project success, then analyze those factors, determine the SWOT of the factor, then constructing the comparative advantage of the company. Some techniques are there for this project appraisal which are even more important for the exams, very very important. In fact, DCF, non-DCF and APV, all these three techniques are very very important, my dear friends. So revise this properly. You might get a difference between DCF and non-DCF also. Okay, DCF stands for discounted cash flow technique, and non-DCF is non-discount cash flow technique, and third one APV, that is adjusted present value technique. So all these techniques, there are drawbacks and their meaning, how they are being done. So this needs to be studied. Now this is DCF and non-DCF difference. Then the next topic that you should revise is issues in the international project appraisal. What are the drawbacks? Like what challenges the company faces while completing a project in the foreign countries. Okay. Unit 12 is cost of capital for foreign investment, and here this CAPM model, that is capital asset pricing model, one of the very important model to find out the risk and return in the foreign investment, and its main assumptions, maybe its drawbacks or limitations. So that also you should revise. Okay. Let's move on to the next unit. I have skipped few units which are less important, so don't worry about that. Unit 13 is on political risk and tax aspect. Now here, as we know in international trade, this concept of political risk is always there. So a company should evaluate all this risk properly before entering into foreign markets. And this risk can be of two types, macro level and micro level. This question you should revise, like what are the different types of political risks that are encountered by the foreign companies. Okay, then some factors are there which causes this political risk. Basically, the ideology of the government or the company or the country. Then nationalism is one of the factor where generally the people are stick to their culture. Then stability problem is their international relationship. That is one of the problem. Then we can also measure the amount of political risk in different ways like this, like frequency of the government changes, level of violence in the in the country, the number of armed insurrections in the country, conflicts in other states. So all these points you can explain in your own words. We know about this, like how the political unrest happens in a country, and we generally encounter it in India quite often. So there are few strategies which the company can take to manage this political risk. Like it can completely avoid them. It can make an insurance for that. It can negotiate with the foreign companies and government. Then it can make a structured investment rather than making the full investment. So it can invest in few amounts. This question can come in the short notes. MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, and this question is also a very important one as far as your TE exams is concerned. Then role of MIGA, the next one, a short note on international tax planning. This is also a very common question. Do revise this properly, very important one. And I have written all this in a very simple words so that you can easily understand. Okay, then the next one, international cash management. Here you should study about okay, what is this cash management, its main objectives, and I think in June we have that there are two types of cash management, centralized and decentralized. So centralized cash management came in June exams, so you can revise this decentralized cash management for this December exams. Okay, what is this, its main advantages and like that. Okay, the next unit is unit 16, foreign trade financing. How you will finance, how the importers and exporters get finance to do international marketing. So सबसे पहले तो documents which are required for international trade, ये question आप कर सकते हो, like these traders need air bill, certificate of origin, bill of lading, combined transport document, draft, that is bills of exchange, insurance policy, packing list and inspection certificate. All these points need to be explained neatly for the exams. Okay, common question hai ye. Okay, then we have again a more common question, LOC, that is letter of credit. ये भी बहुत important है, काफ़ी टाइम एग्जाम्स में आता है. Basically it is a document issued by importers bank assuring that if he fails to make the payment to the exporter, the bank will offer that. And a few future features, characteristics of letter of credit which you can also prepare for the exams. Then comes forfeiting. Forfeiting I think ये जून में आया था, तो इसको जस्ट आप forfeiting क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा चीज़ है, तो यहाँ पे आप इसके अंदर इसके फीचर्स, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फॉरफेटिंग, दैन इसके एडवांटेजेस डिसएडवांटेजेस ये आप देख सकते हैं. लाइक इट कैन रीअपियर इन द एग्जाम्स. ओके, देन शॉर्ट नोट ऑन काउंटर ट्रेड, ये भी आप देख सकते हैं फॉर द शॉर्ट नोट. एंड different types of these counter trades are there. Okay, the next concept, transfer pricing. What is transfer pricing and what are the different methods of transfer pricing? ये क्वेश्चन आप इसको भी आप एग्जाम्स के लिए रिवाइज कर सकते हैं. बहुत कॉमन क्वेश्चन है, बहुत बार एग्जाम्स में आता है. ओके, द नेक्स्ट यूनिट इज प्रोजेक्ट एक्सपोर्ट फाइनेंसिंग. एंड यहाँ पे you should study about कि what is this project financing, that is getting finance for the new project to be undertaken in the international trade, and how can we minimize the risk, or what are the conditions necessary to for the clearance of the project export. तो ये भी आप देख सकते हैं for the exams, like to minimize the risk जैसे advance payment ले लिया, then forex outgo, agency commission, deferred credit. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे मतलब स्टेप्स हैं जो इसकी रिस्क को कम करते हैं. एंड दीज आर द डिफरेंट सोर्सेज of financing the export project. So all these things need to be explained. And why do companies borrow through bonds rather than taking bank loans? ये एक्चुअली बहुत कॉमन है, MCO 07 में भी है दिस थिंग, कि जनरली कंपनीज बैंक लोन से ज़्यादा अच्छा है कि ये लोग बॉन्ड इशू करके कैपिटल रेज करती हैं। सो इसके ऊपर आपको शॉर्ट नोट्स आ सकता है या फिर लॉन्ग क्वेश्चंस में भी आ सकता है ये चीज़। ओके, सो फ्रेंड्स, इस वीडियो में इतना ही, एंड इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो अगेन आई विल बी शेयरिंग सम फ्यू important questions of other subjects, and the time is very short for revision, so do prepare these questions well for the exam so that you can score good marks. Best of luck. Thank you very much for watching.